Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hack.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
What's up, y'all?
Shut it down. Boycott these
My name is
motherfuckers,
True.
we can shut it down.
And these are my true stories.
Shut it down. Boycott these motherfuckers, we can shut it
I
down.
got some real shit to tell.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Boycott these
About
motherfuckers.
it's been 2 weeks.
Shut it down. Y'all might know him too.
Brand new Zoa Morning Show.
You get paid, the whole world is waiting for you to give it away to people from other races so you can put their kids through school. But your babies is getting exterminated on the streets every day. Today's mathematics is 1.1 trillion. That's how much money my niggas be spending. But we don't make nothing and we buy everything. So we obviously fucking off the bread, we be winning for real. And I don't care if you my blood or my cousin. If black lives don't matter, black money does, nigga. Fuck marching, fuck burning up the town. Stop giving them your money and we shut this shit down.
You disagree, Bobby? I know you hear a message.
Why did you start this? We couldn't even get through the promotion, man. Man, did you see all them Negroes knocking them stodos down
I see it,
day
man.
after Christmas?
I see it,
Thanksgiving.
I see it. Hey, listen. Community empowerment in the building. We've got the raffle. Somebody gonna win this raffle. Listen, not a lot of people participated in the raffle, but I couldn't hold it off too much longer. I mean, it's been about a month, and very few people participated in the raffle. But that's all right. We gonna pull a winner out of here, right? I'm gonna pull a winner out of here at the end of the community empowerment. Right now, you gotta go get Real Men Don't Play. Bobby been putting in work for many, many years. He's assembled a great group of men, successful men, thought leaders in their particular area of expertise. And Bobby has pulled it together and created a manual for manhood. RealMenDon'tPlay.com. That's where you get this book. Please continue to support the brother. On the phone line, we've got Wanda Trotter. Listen.
Good morning.
What up, Wanda?
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited today. We had a Cyber Monday special for all the listeners.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
Well, 50% off of our design services. We have had a lot of people who call in and interested in the services, and so we're making it very affordable today. Only $25 is required to lock in 50% off of any of our specials, any of
Wow.
our services.
Let me just say this real quick. The dude sitting in the studio right now, he is a creative guy. I mean, he creates clothing, he creates paintings, art. Dude, you got to get an app. And you got to go through her.
Is that the woman who built your app?
This is the woman who built my app.
I wrote down everything. I've been trying to get where I just got back from the Bay. I've been driving all night to get here this morning.
Listen, if you got a small business, Freedom Paper Company, the people who create the toilet paper, black-owned business.
Right.
If they don't hurry up and go get an app from Wanda Trotter, that's only going to elevate their business. That's going to make their business mobile. It's a mobile app.
he's got
Elder
get with
Queen,
the
I'm
times.
working it in my budget. I don't know how much it is, but that's on my before 2016 starts bucket list.
Hey,
I
Wanda,
gotta get that.
will you show me how to use it?
Bobby said, show him how to use it. He from another generation.
I'll get down with you if you show me how to use it.
Wanda, let me ask you this. what is your website? For those who are listening right now, how can they connect with you right now?
My website is mindblowingmobile.com.
Mindblowingmobile.com.
No, mind-blowing mobile apps, right? Isn't it?
Right.
Mindblowing Mobile.
Mobile.
Mindblowing Mobile.
Oh, okay.
Mindblowingmobile.com. There it is. We got it up on the screen. If y'all don't go Cash Mob right now, y'all got to support this
Yeah,
woman.
I went to the website. I love the site. I'm like, wow.
And if the site isn't fly, if the site isn't fly enough for you, just go to my website. I mean, go to my app. Go look at my app.
I downloaded your app. I'm like,
my app's crazy.
Yo, that's dope. That's like on some whole other level.
And now it's available on iTunes or iStore. Listen, she's told me that we got about 1,300 downloads on Android, but less than 200 on the iStore. A lot of people are just getting word that the app is now available for the iPhone. So go get it.
Is it free on the iStore?
It's all free.
Okay.
You got to go get it.
You know, a lot of people be scared of Apple. Apple charge you for everything.
No, it's free. So listen. Wanda, I appreciate you, love.
School, man.
I appreciate you, love, for calling in. And one more time before I let you go, what's the name of your website?
Mindblowingmobile.com. And there's a button right on the side that says Learn More. That's where you'll see the special.
Word. Thank you so much, honey, for calling in. We appreciate you. We got to bounce. But more products.
Thank you. Appreciate you, too.
I will be in touch with you soon, sister.
There it is right there.
I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day. Thanks.
All right, now. So, Tony, people been asking about these beanies. We got a bunch of them now. We got that black one. I normally rock this one unboxing. Right? We got that one right there. Tony B, where can they find all of these for the Crips out there who want to represent they blue and
oh man, no, you didn't.
on God body style, right?
Yes,
where did they get this stuff, man?
ConsciousInt.com. ConsciousEnt.com.
That Royal Lakers, purple and gold.
And I'm doing I've been doing specials this whole weekend, and today's Cyber Monday. If you buy a shirt or anything, I'm giving you a beanie free, so it's cool.
That's what's up.
There's no business like mo business.
Now look at this. Somebody sent this to the office here. I don't want to mispronounce it. I think it's Nafsi Lux Candles. Nafsi is Nafsi, Lux, Luxe candles. The website is www.nafsiluxe.com. Nafsilux.com. They make wonderful candles. I can smell this one right here. When I put that thing down on old girl, light one of these up, clear that room right out. Nah. I'm just kidding, but they smell amazing. This one is called Warm Essence, and she sent the whole box of
goodies. Look
at this,
you,
man. Like, you know,
wax goodies.
Yeah, man, unwind candles. You know, we got a lot of talented black folk out there. Listen, Weed Juice. Let's keep this rolling. Weed Juice, weedjuice.com. You already know. You're gonna get a 30% discount if you go to the website weedjuice.com and then you type in "We Live, We Love, We Juice." You're gonna get a 30% discount. Please continue to support these brothers. EasyBoyWeb.com. EasyBoyWeb.com. They did my website. They could do yours. Freedom Paper Company. Hey, you already know what this is. A black-owned company that does toilet tissues, toiletries, man. Please go support these people and tell these people, overwhelm these people with the knowledge that, hey, Zoe Williams sent you, right? Let them know. These people don't know I'm promoting them. Please support these people right now. One and final thing I need you to promote. or I need you to support. I need you to support this like yesterday. I'm getting tired of asking, so I'm just gonna put this up. The Relationship Dismount. IamZoeWilliams.com. Please get there now. Purchase your copies. Anybody who purchases copies today, I will be mailing them out tomorrow. Please, please, please continue to support that. You go to IamZoeWilliams.com. You click shop. Once you click shop, you can go, there's the book. Pow! Add to your cart. Get your copy right now while there are copies still to be had. And now, without further ado, let's do this raffle. I'm going to go ahead and
What you raffling
mix it up. I want everybody to put their hand on it and mix it up.
What you raffling on? What we raffling?
We raffling off all those books,
Oh, wow.
the coaching sessions,
Really?
What?
Black Mastery,
What?
all that.
Wait a minute, shit. I want to put
Bobby's book is in there.
good book. Good book.
My book is in there. We raffling off
Good
all
book.
of this. Put your hand on it. It's almost like shuffling.
I'm gonna bless it.
Just shuffle it. You gonna bless it? Because this is a religious
Just take
topic.
the one. Just take the one that's stuck to the bottom. That's what we
Okay.
got one taped to the bottom.
Go ahead, bless it. Shuffle it. Bobby, I want you to put some Murfreesboro stank on it.
While you,
What?
While you over here with the exclusive, everybody mad at me because I couldn't find them when I told them they were exclusive. That gold and black hat right there.
Oh, with the
Yeah.
snakeskin bill?
Yeah. I ain't got no more.
At Murfreesboro Stank.
All right, so here we go.
That sounds like the name of the next Outkast album, Murfreesboro Stank.
Yeah. I'm just going to reach in here, blindfold. My eyes are closed. And I'm going to grab.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's see who won this shit.
You ain't never heard that in the contest before.
Wow. I knew she was going to win.
Who?
Vernetta Nash.
Vernetta Nash.
I knew she was going to win.
Shout out to Vernetta.
Vernetta Nash just won the whole stash.
I don't know one
Everything?
Vernetta. I don't know one Vernetta that don't got pretty black knees and a big butt. That's just a big butt name. Vernetta!
So
Shout
what
out
she-
to Vernetta.
So what, she win everything?
She won everything.
What?
I told people. She won everything.
What? Somewhere her juicy butt is jumping up and down.
She won everything.
Let me
goddamn.
sign this for me.
Vernetta.
Sign this for Vernetta,
To
man.
Vernetta.
Hold on, this
What's
what
up,
I'ma do.
Vernetta?
You going to spell it?
Here's what I'm going to do.
You know how to spell Vernetta. You from
Her
Murfreesboro?
mama,
Here,
her
what-
daddy, you
What's
know how
on
to
beanie
spell.
in for?
Is it 1 T or 2?
Come on, bro. her daddy named Vern, her mama named Netta. Her name Vernetta.
Vernetta. That's what it is. Listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to set up the topic. It's about to get ignorant up in
I
here.
even throw a shirt in for her, too.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the tree.
I'm talking about particular individuals in black churches that represent themselves as men of God, as proponents of the Bible as written, that are not teaching what's in the Bible, nor are they representing themselves to be true men of God. They're out to get what's best for themselves, and they're using you to do it. So I'm talking about those people, okay? Now, if your pastor's not like that, then we're not talking about you, and we're not talking about your pastor. But think about all the stories you've heard in the news. And these are just the ones that make national news. These are just the ones we hear about. The things that are hushed up in communities, or they never even make it out of the pastor's office or out of the office of the board of directors. You don't hear about those things, sometimes for decades later. That does not mean that these things are not happening. My goal with this book is to raise the alarm, is to give women the opportunity to understand what kinds of games are being run in their churches, and then the tools to do something about it. That's all. It's a vetting process. So you would take this information, it's almost like a checklist, and you can see, there's a section here where it says, is your church or is it a cult? Well, there's a list of descriptive features. You can go down it and you can determine that for yourself. If you determine that the church you're attending right now is more cult-like than it is Christ-like, well, then you know what to do.
Sometimes what happens is, previously, African American pastors were paid and supported by the church, and so they did not have the fear of their job leaving. They didn't have the fear of not being able to meet their needs because they were met by the African American community through being paid for being pastor in the church. Now we have a lot of part-time pastors who make their daily living outside of the church, and so they have to protect that. And so they don't feel that they can speak out for the church as they once did. Some of them who are actually being paid full-time by the church, refusing to speak out. Why? Because it ruffles feathers from a political standpoint, when the issue is not politics. The issue is whether or not we're receiving our fair share when it comes to contracts, when it comes to jobs. Those things translate into more being paid into the church, which is more available for them. Right. And so I don't see why in the world we as a congregation as a whole will continually allow ourselves to be sold out by some of the African American pastors who refuse to deal with social issues, not political issues, social issues that affect us every single day.
Said, I had to go and read for myself and ask God for some practical applications, because all I grew up hearing in church was, you don't go after no man, you sit and you wait to be found. Somebody gonna find you. But what I'm finding is, and I talk about my situation, I was married to someone that was in church, and everybody goes, oh yeah, he loves God, he's this, he's that. But church didn't teach us compatibility. It didn't teach us companionship. It said equally yoked, but they talk to us from a spiritual point of view, not from ambition, drive, the things you value and that you want in life. If you want to live in the city, if I want to live in the city, you want to live in the country, that could be compromised on. But if you're adamant about it, you have to weigh the option of what you're getting into. So we're not taught that. So now you have black women sitting in church Sunday after Sunday, thanking God and praising him in advance for a man, but yet they're always busy. They go out in packs. They stay out with their girlfriends. They take girlfriend cruises. Don't a man want to fight through all of that? But you still in your mind, you say, well, if he a man, he'll come get me. Well, if you're a woman, you position yourself so he can come and get you.
Yes. Yes. Preach, sister.
Yeah. Today is Sex, Lies, and Bishop on tape. Doing what he ain't got no business doing.
Oh, no.
We talking about your church. We talking about a well-known common black fact in church. The incredible hypocrisy of the axiom that it is the easiest place on the earth to get laid is black church.
Yes.
It is so, take it from an ex-player. If I am new to a town and I'm extraordinarily horny, I'm not going to the strip club. I'm not going to the nightclub. I'm not going to the bowling alley. None of the normal place skating. No. I'm putting my suit on. I'm going to church with my Bible and my glasses.
Yes.
And I'm going to be that mysterious new Christian brother. And there will be a vaginal target painted on every part of my visible body.
Wow.
I didn't make that up.
And listen,
you couldn't have.
and this is what the show sounds like when Jeff sets up the topic, right?
Yeah. I mean, he just came from there, man.
Hey, man.
Just from there.
Just rip my warm offs. Come on in the game.
Well, here it is. Today's topic: the secret sex lives of religious folk. A deeper look into the sex lives of the sanctified.
Oh, here we go.
And this nigga about to have breakfast on the air.
That's right. About to feed them the word. Y'all want to hear the word, don't you? Call in.
Beans and rice.
Call
Go ahead.
in.
No, that's oatmeal and raisins.
This is steel cut oatmeal and raisins made with
Them is raisins? Them is
reconstitute.
like
But
That's because I
red
boil the raisins for 15 minutes so that they
Oh.
reconstitute with water. And
okay,
then I put a little bit
Now
of
it's a cooking show.
apple cider vinegar so the water hold. Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, Jeff Brown gets
They
down.
look like red beans.
Jesus.
Red beans and oatmeal, nigga? How
That's
hard
what
to
got
do
you.
that?
That's what got you chopped.
How-
This shit right here.
How hard did he grow up? Red beans and oatmeal. Just whatever was in the cupboard, nigga, we broke. We broke. We been there peanut butter and jelly beans for dinner.
Peanut butter and jelly beans.
You know how you do when you broke. When you broke, you just open the cabinet and pray. I hope this shit go together. That's the only way you come up with red beans and oatmeal. I'm sorry, we're off the chart. Let's get back on the road. Back on the road. Back on the road.
Yes. Back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Are church girls / women the preachers pray?
Yes.
That's ugly. I'm sorry. I have to ask the question. True or false? When it comes to getting laid, are church women the easiest? If so, why? What makes them so easy? Yikes. Woo. How can our fear of our own sexuality be projected onto others? Did God make sex a bad thing? And how does a little slap and tickle, a little extra, you know how you get when you having that good sex and your woman kinky and she want a little hair pulling, a little ass slapping, a little tugging?
They all do.
Is sexual violence okay in the Christian bed?
Sexual violence?
I shall smite thee.
Yes, we smite each other when we fucking.
What's violent about that?
Pull my hair, daddy. Ha! I will smite the yogurt box. I will lay waste to your womb this eve.
Here's another question. I'm going to let y'all in. I'm about to overshare because I've done this to a few women before. Is it okay to take a Christian woman and put her over your knee and spank her ass until you know her ass stinging because your hand is stinging? I mean, tear her ass up like she's 7 years old.
Hey.
And then right while she crying, flip her over, kiss the yogurt box, and then just try to strike oil.
But see, I think what you're talking about.
That's some of my freaky shit, bro.
Hey, I'm saying what you're talking about right now. What he's talking about right now. Is that not the key to submission? Because it seems as if the Christian women only find a moment of submission when you're getting them right there where they're getting ready to strike oil.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's when you see them at their closest to submission. If they ain't getting that nut off, you got an attitudinal, angry person on your hands.
Because she don't understand that that's what in the word shout out to Evan Lionel. And my friend Evan has a joke called the cooking switch. He said a woman has, you complain about your woman don't cook for you, that's because your dick too small. Because if she got a switch in there. And if you get in there and hit that cooking switch,
Here we
you
go.
come up with cakes
A cooking switch.
It's not my joke. I just butchered that joke. That's Evan Lionel's joke. But there is a submission involved.
So I'm interested to know the history, right? We have a special guest that's coming in. The brother who did the movie Dark Girls with Bill Duke.
Oh, shit.
Chance is coming. Chance and B is coming. And he's supposed to be bringing a pastor.
Well, they don't.
Well, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
They don't fare well in here. That's why they don't come.
Well, so let me go around the table really quickly. I know this nigga gets pussy by manipulation. I know.
Oh, my God.
But let me just...
Dreads and kush.
I'm just saying. Patchouli. Just come in there with some...
Fucking all the Erica Badon'ts.
All of them.
Erica Badon.
Right. So my question is, why? I know it's been easy for me to go to the church and get some top shelf ass. I want to know you guys' exploits. Bobby, I know your Sidney Poitier smooth ass has been in the church.
I was about to say, he did that.
Why has it been so easy? Church girls.
It wasn't. Church girls were not easy for me.
Really?
I don't know. I felt awkward. because I was raised thinking I was gonna go to hell, going against my nature like that. So actually, I married a devoutly religious woman, and after that, I was shell shot based on that experience as it relates to trying to find somebody to mate with, man. So to be honest with you, I stayed out that lane, man. I ain't lying, man.
Uncle Bobby sitting on his couch. What the fuck is I
No,
doing?
man, it's no fun having to deal with the duality of that. You put on this front and you go in, and when you walk in the door, man, and they're in there singing and everything, and you just kind of look around.
All y'all ain't shit.
And maybe it showed, that predatory part of me maybe was too evident. And so I never did really do
Bobby,
good in the church.
you never used the church as a relationship hunting ground.
I tried it, and it didn't work for me.
So explain to me what you did.
I looked like I was there hunting, and I didn't bring the Bible with me, none of that, man. I probably smelled like the night before, so they knew it wasn't me, man. So I just said, nah, I ain't gonna play with it like that, man.
Jeff, I know you got a moment.
Now, how far
I'm gonna
you
need
wanna
you
go
to stop
back?
smacking in the
How
mic.
far you want to go back, man? Because I was a drummer.
Just tell
in
me
church.
what made. I'm just saying,
Lord.
Chuck.
No wonder he got stories.
I'm just saying, Jeff. Tell me, just tell me your most egregious church fuck act. I know you've done some bad things.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was 17. I'm not gonna say the young lady's name because she is a Facebook friend.
Juanetta.
She was in a. No, I'm not gonna say it. That's awful close though.
Juanita now.
I played drums for a fairly famous church in Chicago.
What's the church?
It was Fountain of Life Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay, we pretty much can deduce
Marvin
some shit.
Yancey, that's hilarious. Natalie Cole's husband that wrote all her hits was my minister.
Really?
Marvin Yancey. Yeah, and you talking about a jumping. My church was tight. Oh my God.
Well, he set the tone from what I've heard about him.
And we was on. We went to a visiting church.
Yeah.
And this girl.
You know what the visiting church ass is always.
Bro.
When you go to a visiting church, and you in their church.
Oh my God.
Meeting their women.
Oh, sweet Lord.
And you visiting from another church.
Amen.
Oh, you getting ass.
I'm gonna tell you what. All you gotta do is bring up Daniel, Joseph, and Solomon, and act like you know what you're talking about, and quote some verses that's outside of the regurgitated 13. Speak things that are not as though they are. For God so loved the world. Philippians. You stay out of that. You go over into Proverbs and you go over into Solomon and start using some stuff that make them have to look. Oh my God! You can hear a collective gush in the room. I'm trying to tell you. I've had more pussy than Nickelback's drummer. No, just be honest. Okay? I have had, oh my God.
That's a lot.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
A comedian, nobody gets coochie, other than rock stars, gets coochie like road comics. I am trying to tell you, including strip clubs, comedy clubs after the show, there is no easier place to get laid than black church. I am not kidding you. I am not making this up. But I have friends that verify this shit. Especially if you can weather the "oh my God, what have I done?" You'll get that about a minute and a half or two afterwards. And then if you really
this isn't right.
Yes, if you really put it down, she'll be saying, "Oh my God, what have I done?" again before the end of the whatever season you're in.
We're sitting
again. I'm just telling you.
And you know what I love about it is to try to make the best of this situation that happens in the aftermath.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay.
When the devil emerges.
We shouldn't have done that. But let's start over and let's just try dating. We'll
Yes.
go out and hang out, and
Yeah, I
then we
love
still
that.
naked later on.
And here's the beautiful bonus. Nobody, the same reason that regular girls keep a hoe around so nobody has to be a hoe, that's the same thing that keeps you in the game at the same church as plausible deniability. Nobody wants to be able to, no, I don't want to say I screwed him. So since that's such a sin, I'm going to keep it to myself. The table is still clear. Every time you go into a casino, it's just new.
The casino.
Tony,
I'm telling you.
do you have a story where? Because I know you, Tony.
When I was young,
don't
when
lie,
I-
Tony.
Don't
when
lie.
I was young, I had some older cats put me on. They were like, "Look, you have to learn some scriptures in the Bible. I know you on that conscious stuff. I know you on that conscious stuff.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
learn these scriptures. Come to church with me."
I'm trying to.
And then my boy, he was a little bit older than me. He was a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, you gonna get that?
Oh
ass.
my God.
Jehovah's Witness ass?
Jehovah's Witness. They have this big party once a year where they all go to a dome or something, and you go in there, and all the
Don't
women
go in the dome,
are
though.
there single, and they're just there mingling, and you meeting Jehovah's Witnesses from all over. They're nothing but freaks that are just looking to get some numbers. Give me your number. Give me your number.
Dude, people don't want to. They do.
I had a black book. Oh my God. I had a black book as big as the Bible.
Damn. Damn. Oh, let's bring in my homeboy Chanson, man. Chanson, shit. You know you was gonna come into a bus, so I don't even know why you trying to act like you don't know.
You knew it was Vietnam when you got out the car.
You knew that.
Got his
This brother
got his Mac sweater on.
I'm saying.
He
Good
clean
morning,
as-
Vietnam.
Yeah, exactly. This brother has created a documentary that's very important to this topic,
Oh, okay.
right? And just in case you're unfamiliar, this is what we talking about: the secret lives of religious folk, secret sex lives,
Sex Lives and Bishop on tape. That's what we call it.
right?
Yeah.
When you look around the world, I don't care if it's Africa or this clitoral mutilation. I don't care if it's Pakistan where a woman could still be stoned, right?
Yeah.
For looking at a dude.
Yeah, this is crazy over there.
All the way back over here to America where we're probably the most religiously illiterate nation in the world,
Oh my God.
right? When we start looking at religion and its imprint on people, when you get down to sex, the guilt and the repression create some really freaky cats,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
You look at the Catholic Church, these fools have been covering it up, right? They just, we probably could argue they've been covering up for centuries.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they didn't have to cover it up a few centuries ago. But now, in the 19th and 20th and 21st century, they've been just shuffling, these guys around. I always look at it like this, and Jeff Brown, I have to give him credit for this. And that is, if white people's systems look fucked up, then the black people who depend on those systems are really in a bad way. Right? So if white America has
the sniffles.
has the sniffles, black America
got Hodgkin's lymphoma.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, on the same issue.
And we could apply that metaphor to the church thing too. So you see how problematic it is for the Catholic Church on the white side of the game. Now come home to the black side of the game, the Baptist fried chicken eating, I call him Reverend Rib, Reverend Pork Shank. That dude, when we start looking at those guys, and I'm not going to say all of them, but sexuality in the church, especially abuse, we don't really deal with it. It's not really out there like that, but it's known almost ubiquitously. You can go to any church. You can go to any community where there's brothers, where there's sisters. You can go anywhere. And I guarantee you'll run into some story, some situation that points to a pastor pimping the flock of those women. 85% African American churches are women, right?
63%.
63? That's a lot. Where the brothers at? Because brothers be knowing, like, this is a hustle. Talk to me, Chancellor, about your new
Where
movie.
did that 63 number come from?
It's it
went down. It used to be like 71%.
Oh, they're leaving too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's 63%.
Yeah.
Black women. Just first of all, I apologize for being late.
It's all right, brother.
No
You
worries,
know.
brother.
The new documentary is called "The Church House: Sexuality in the Black Church,"
Mm.
and we premiered about 3 weeks ago in Newark, New Jersey. Then went on to Nashville, and this week we're in at the DeSable Museum in Chicago,
Right.
on December 4th at 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
But man, the reason why I did this is coming off of Dark Girls and then The Black Line, and I want to do this on the church house because I have 2 small boys that I have to raise to become 2 good human beings,
Right.
into black men.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't trust the 3 Ps that were standing in front of me:
Uh-oh.
preachers, politicians, and police. So I had to gather my wits about myself and see what I could do with one of the P's first. And that was the church and the church house. And after Eddie Long had done what he had done and gotten away with it, I started talking to people around the country about what they were going through, male and female, straight and gay, lesbian and transsexual, what they were going through in these called Christian churches across the country.
Mm.
There lies the answer of where is the God in all of this?
Mm.
When I am, check this out. So it's okay to be gay in the black church if you're talented.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You get a pass.
Yeah.
But if you're in the pews, you get your ass whooped.
Woo!
Yeah.
You get your ass whooped with judgment, with shame, with guilt, with expulsion, with condemnation.
Right after the fruity choir director gets through.
But if you can pop lock with a baton, you can lead this choir to greatness.
So I will slap the hell out of you.
So I'm not saying this goes for all African American churches, but a lot of churches are not dealing with the reality of sex and sexuality. When you have a sister who comes in the church who is 19 years old and pregnant, she's put on the bench in front of the church, and the church is, I dare you, you have to leave the church, and that. More of that happened in the South in the 60s, and the 50s, and the 40s. Am I right?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. But now, but what happened to the deacon that got her pregnant?
Ooh. So listen.
He became a bishop.
We're going to play his trailer in the next segment. Oh my God, today's topic is crazy. Listen, if you getting ready to write a classic play called Mama Tell Pastor to Stop, this is the show.
Mama Tell Pastor to Stop.
Hey, Zoe,
Come on, Tyler Perry. We waiting on that one.
Pastor Greasewater.
Right?
Yes.
Mama Tell Pastor to stop. Mama Tell Pastor to stop. He see me in my skirt and he trying to cop.
We'll be back in 2.2 seconds.
Now you done heard a lot of talk about me and my niggas. Them outlaw worldwide my figures. From triumph to tragedy, to right back on top, niggas still mad at me. Pushing that big truck on 24 square feet in ATL game locked, yo. Now that's what my nigga got shot for. Being too motherfucking raw for this fuck baller. See the darkness, see the light, he wanna kill it. Misery, love, company, and that's the real shit. But in 2004.
What it do is your man Money B from Digital Underground asking everybody to check out the Going Way Back show, your home for classic hip hop, raw and uncut. Join me
and me, DJ Always,
as well as Ty Teasy, bringing you the old school new news every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here
on T Radio V.
That's right, Radio MTV.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Crazy Bone.
Man, I'm the bum Keith G, man.
And whenever you sitting at home and can't shake the monkey off your back,
yeah,
then just know every Wednesday from 7 to 9
That's
p.m.
right.
you can tune in to the Quick Fix and get your fix on, man.
Right here on TRadioV.com, baby.
Radio and TV.
Dog, how they gonna see us on the radio then?
Radio, I don't know. Or is it TV and radio?
But it's
one of them.
I gotta figure this radio and TV thing out though, bro. I don't
Get it
understand.
together.
I'm gonna
Get it
tell my
together.
mom how she gonna see
Get
us.
it together.
If the fish swam out of the ocean and grew legs and they started walking, and the apes climbed down from the
One of the most effective ministries here at New Birth is one that my wife birthed called Women on the Path. And it takes women through a process of training and through the Bible, and just really to teach women what God says and to really move them into their destiny and the things that God has ordained. It's one of the refreshing. Once they graduate, it becomes like a sorority and stuff like that. And I get a lot of thank you from husbands who get new wives through that process. So now she's graduating a group right as we're speaking right now.
If you look at us in our eyes and you hear the pain in our voice, we don't have a reason to lie to this man.
The upheaval in the church began last September with the filing of sexual misconduct lawsuits by 4 young men, all members of the New Birth Church. The men alleged Bishop Long provided trips and money and lavished attention on all of them in return for sexual favors. Long denied the charges.
But this thing, I'm gonna fight.
The case began in the public court but quickly moved to private settlement. The case was settled and money was paid to all 4 young men. Bishop Long, still married to Vanessa, said it was time to move forward. What can you tell me about any relationship with Bishop Eddie Long?
I would just tell you, everything is not as it seems. Nothing is real, and everything that glitter isn't gold.
Then the I-Team uncovered the existence of a 5th accuser, Centino Kemp, a flamboyant and mysterious young man with no ties to the church. Kemp was paid at least $94,000 in the settlement, though he never officially joined the lawsuit.
I didn't take another minute pretending that I was okay. It was an incredibly difficult decision to make. And it was equally hard to come back because I felt like I failed the very people that needed me to be their strength. After all, you felt the storm too, and yet you stood. But then I realized that the best thing that I could do was to let you see me as a woman, just like you.
Watch, especially in the area of finances, how do they treat other people when it comes to money? And that's usually how you can spot a false prophet or a false teacher. But there was also a story a few months ago that Eddie Long had brought someone into his church, and they were holding these financial seminars, and they were taking large sums of money from the people attending, and it turned out to be a scam, and many people lost their money. But let me tell you something about investing your money. Sometimes people try to get something for nothing, and greed plays a part in all of it, so we have to be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, then it usually is.
Here we go. We back. Chancing Speak on it.
There's so many holes to fill when it comes to the black church.
Mhm.
No pun intended.
That's too easy. I'm gonna let that go by.
Gonna let
Thank you,
that
sir.
slide.
Thank you. So we could talk about money. We could talk about da-da-da-da-da. But the thing, if we stay on the topic of sex and sexuality in the black church and what it has done to us, is just deep.
Let me.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me just ask this, Chance, because you put this. You did a lot of research to put this together. In your honest opinion, do you think the black church is more beneficial to the black community or less?
Less.
Ooh, say more. Why? Why? Because a lot of people out there would be like, man, there's a lot of churches out there doing good for the community. And
The church, the
Man.
black church, and this is just my opinion, used to be a place of refuge for black people.
Mm.
From the times we stepped on the on the U.S. Soil here
Mhm.
in slavery to, I guess the early 70s.
Mhm.
Then something broke down.
Mm.
It was a place where we can go and talk quietly, privately, about all our issues,
Mhm.
and it not be broadcast to the white folk or to other Negroes in the field.
But wouldn't you say, and I'm going to throw this to Bobby too, wouldn't you say that the advent of technology and just the sweeping changes that technology has brought into our community, our society as a whole, hasn't it rewritten some of the rules of engagement? For instance, during the industrial age, at the beginning when it first started, it changed everybody's life.
True.
Right? To it, where, before then we were communal, we were together, it was familial, we got a ranch, everybody got all hands on deck.
Closets were smaller.
But in the industrial age, it elevated the individual to go out and get his own thing, to get his own place, and thus the family life and the dependence on, let me make sure my son knows how to chop wood.
That's right.
Because I ain't gonna be able to do it. Let me make sure he knows how to build a cabin, because I ain't gonna be able. All of that was no longer necessary. So if you look at it today, technology is kind of making religion somewhat obsolete. In terms of technology can answer this question. Technology can provide these answers. Where before, religion tried to
All
answer
the
those.
answers are in this mystic book.
Take
Right.
it to God.
So I agree with what you're saying, but I'm also saying part of the responsibility of the church being kind of inept in its central meeting place is because we live in a different culture that's made us severely narcissistic and individual. Bobby?
I want to go back and then forward. When you started the conversation, you talked about what kind of sexual experiences I did or did not have relative to the church. The truth of it is, I grew up in a town with about 10,000 people in it. Maybe 2,500 black folk.
So everybody
So
know
everybody know everybody. Plus, you didn't have all of these other things to believe in. All right. So if you went to church as a child and then you go into adolescence, you're pretty much constricted to what you've been taught to believe. So when I went to church, it was like, okay, I'm looking, but I don't want to feel this way because it's not going to be affirmed, in that immediate circle that I was in.
Right.
And then even by the time I grew older and started listening to my cousin out of Louisville, Kentucky, who was anything but religious, it created a chasm between what I saw him doing and what I'd been conditioned to do. So that was another reason why I never did have success in church, because I felt conflicted. And then he taught me to believe. He said, man, look, you ain't about nothing if you got to hustle women in the church. If you're going to hustle women, hustle straight up. And so I began to subscribe to that notion more so than trying to feed out of the church. That was almost a weak spot.
But you know what? I found early in the church, my mother was super religious. I found out early in the church that it was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
First off, the pastor thought my mama was cute you know how little boys are around their mama, like,
hey, sister so and so, you like.
But you know, little boys are territorial
Very.
about their mama.
Yeah.
So I always had a side eye for this nigga, like,
I see you, she don't.
what you doing, nigga? Right? Because ain't that your wife? Like, I was already keen, like,
right. Even if mama don't see it,
boy.
I see it.
You're right. I was
see
keen, right? But then later on, it came out that several women in that church had relations with this dude. Several children came out of that. I mean, this is normal. And
Pastor Johnson, in 1947, in a small church in Georgia, in the backwoods, is married and left church one Sunday afternoon to go to Sister Smith's house for dinner with her family, and she's married. But he left with dessert.
Oh,
wow. And 12 months later, sitting on the front pew.
She there with a 3-month-old baby.
Well, you know, there was a saying that came true back from that era, and it's still prevalent today. What you do in the dark will come out in the light. And the side children always look more like the paternal, the parents, the maternal and paternal parents than the kids that were born supposedly in a nuclear environment. It never fails, man. Never.
Are pastors side chick farmers? They got the side chicks in their church.
They got all the chicks,
so they're cultivating them. The church is a side chick factory.
That high platform, man, with that light on you.
Ooh.
That high platform with the light on you, and you're speaking because you represent God. And you're speaking to people who are in need or in pain.
Yeah.
Women. Some women, going back to Jeff talked about, the lack of self-esteem.
Wow.
Husbands are not coming to church because, you know why? I was just with this nigga last night.
Right.
I just saw him. I just saw Pastor last night. And I can tell you to this point, I myself am a friend of a major pastor in this city.
Uh-oh.
And met him in New York at my hotel. And he was wasted. Had to bring him to my room
to get him together.
To get him together while he's walking through the hotel with a bottle and a chick who didn't look like him. Major.
Listen.
Pastor.
On that note, we're going to play the trailer. Y'all think it's a game. We're going to play the trailer.
You need to tell us who that is on the break.
Tell me. Right. We're going to find out on the break.
We ain't going to put it on there, but we're going to find out on the break.
We're going to find out on the break. Chant, tell us what the name of this film is and tell us when it's going to release or where people can get it real quick.
It's The Church House, Sexuality the Black Church. I'm on tour with it around the United States right now. We're going from city to city doing the premieres. And our next stop is Chicago on December 4th at the DeSalvo Museum at 7 o'clock. And hopefully we'll be in Philly and D.C. and L.A. and Chicago, and Detroit and Atlanta soon.
Can I say this real quick?
Shit.
You.
Yes, sir.
You are a part of this.
This is the revolution.
There is an eyeball. There is an awakening, a physical, spiritual, metaphor. You can feel it in the air. The awakening of black people from their slumber. And what I am...
hold on. Niggas are notorious hard sleepers, though.
That's hilarious. I have no reason to blow smoke up your ass.
Close them shades.
You are part of something that has been prophesied, that has been coming. This awakening has been coming, and it's just exciting to see. I would love to be in attendance if you do it here.
Here we go. We got to play this clip. Let's see it.
There's a line that simply goes, and Adam knew Eve, and she conceived and bore a son named Cain, right? I call it the first quickie in the Bible.
You have three things that you can be sure all human beings are going to do. They're going to drink water, they're going to eat food, and they're going to have sex.
Every Sunday, when the church is in worship, that's a time that Christ and the church make love together. And as a result of that, every time a soul is saved, that's a church giving birth to a soul.
Sexuality is being talked about in the church. It's just not being talked about by the church.
The only thing that separates the church and the world is the power of God.
When we get to this area of sexuality or sex in the black church has dropped the ball.
We don't talk about sin much now because we're not talking about Jesus much now.
You're talking about people who are constantly crying. And it's that ability to cry out that calls attention to the injustices that are going on. And we're losing our ability to cry because you can't cry when the king is feeding you or when the queen is feeding you. It's hard to cry with a T-bone in your mouth. And how many people do you know want to take a T-bone out?
When I hear pimp in the pulpit, there's a picture that comes to mind.
Those male pastors standing out at this elevated place in the church and looking out, it's like eye candy.
Before I'm a pastor, before I'm a preacher, I'm a man. And I cannot neglect the temptations and the tendencies that I have as a man and ignore them simply because I'm passive.
When we talk about sexuality in the church, it's often about what women aren't supposed to do in the church and how women are supposed to be, the respectability of women.
The way that we think about girls always goes back to those biblical conceptions of woman. Either you are Eve or you're Mary.
Once you start reading the first 5 books of the Bible, embedded in those first 5 books is an agenda, a political agenda, an agenda to silence and control women's sexuality. Because the fear of women's sexuality have always sent men just unraveling.
To be a good woman is to have a good man, but because you didn't do it the way we told you to, and you did it, and now we shun you in the church.
She had to come before the congregation and be publicly humiliated for getting pregnant. Now, the deacon who got her pregnant was never brought up. Nobody said anything. Swept under the rug.
We talk about pornographic. We're not talking about XXX movies. We're talking about illicit relationships by any 2 people who are not male and female and married to each other.
If you would go into certain sectors of the black church and you would excuse or dismiss homosexuals, if you will, there would be a lot of vacant seats in church.
Minister Music is a homosexual. Everybody knows it. It's clear, it's open. But pastor will get up and preach against homosexuality, but never address him. Why? Because you get a pass in the black church if you're gifted.
When a man decides to be a woman, that's reversing God's divine orders. When a woman decides to be a man, that's reversing God's divine order.
Show me anywhere within the Synoptics where Christ condemns homosexuality. It cannot be done.
Even though we are accepting it, we have to ask ourselves, is that God's divine will?
How can you truly love me if you cannot accept me? That is not love. That's toleration. And if we cannot accept people, we cannot love them. And therefore, we have failed at the one commandment that Christ has really given us.
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there.
I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought, with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. Going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T Radio V. That's radio in TV.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
So but we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yeah, Radio V.
And it's Mary Carey, of course, politically naughty with Mary Carey.
I'm always naughty. I'm always politically. My behavior is always politically
naughty.
I'm never politically correct.
Dr.
Dr.
Drew.
Drew, hi. Oh, I'm so.
Hey guys, how are you?
It's all teary-eyed, Doctor.
I know. She wished she could live at rehab.
But only if Dr. Drew's there. Obviously,
Sure.
plus one like. You know, because a little too groping might be inappropriate, but I like the flirting and stuff.
When I walked in, you shoved my head in your.
No! Are you gonna sue me?
Get politically naughty with Mary Carey, Mondays at 4 p.m. on T Radio V.
Hi, I'm Sheriff John Bonnell. You're watching T Radio. Radio and TV? What? Perfect. Why are you asking me to do this after 12 drinks?
What up? Those of you who follow me on Facebook or have seen me anywhere other than this show that I love to do are aware that this topic is very close to my heart because of how obvious to me as a casual observer that Christianity isn't, and nor has it ever been, a fit for black people. It has never been a fit for you. That's why it doesn't work. That's why you pray constantly and God will allow you to die broke, because that's not your God. The same way I will allow strangers to die broke. That God is a stranger to you. Find out who your God is. As I've said before, TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and that shit your mama told you is running a triangle offense on your happiness.
Wow.
Ouch. Hey.
Ooh, we don't need no gravy on that one.
Oh, wow. This thing that y'all are doing is you are, by trying to fit yourself into a book that was written before electricity, refrigeration, the car, the elevator, the stoplight, trying to pressure yourself into this situation.
Yikes.
Is that this pressure cooker you put yourself into pressurizes you into freakism. Do you understand that you would be closer to the God you're trying to be if you were to abandon many of the tenets in that book?
Ooh.
What are you going to do when you find out, when you die and you go to heaven, Valhalla, wherever it is you say you're going, and you find out that God isn't nearly as uptight as the motherfuckers that you was with that was following him? What are you going to do if you're standing in line at the pearly gates and you hear Bob Marley music and you smell weed smoke? How much time? I'm not kidding, bro. That's very, very. I'm very serious about that. Watch yourself with these charismatic pastors. We are saying that the pastors are being predatory. In many cases, it's not him, it's the women that's predatory. I was in Bishop Noel Jones' church on this particular Sunday when, before he started to preach, he said, "You know who you are. You are the same person that sits in the front row with no panties on. You are the same person that keeps sending pictures to me of you naked. If you send one more picture, I am going to expose you to this whole church." That's this dude. That's not. And shout out to Noel Jones. That's, if I had to belong to a black church, it would be that one, because that dude right there, he's on some metaphysics when he gets down with his sermon. Okay. All right. No, seriously, you need to listen to him speak, because he speaks from truth, and you can preach truth out of Spider-Man. You don't need the Bible to preach truth. My point is, to bring this to a close is, and I'm light skinned, I'm finna get that ass. It's on the minds of a lot of ministers. So find your God. I guess that's the whole thing. Find your God, because your good has been hijacked by religion.
Yikes. Jeff, is that what you do?
What?
You just go off?
I just go do.
Hey,
dude,
it's a rant.
Hulk smash, nigga. Okay, yeah, okay.
Hey, but Jeff's right.
I'm gonna say this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Okay, y'all see the Avengers? This is one of my favorite. The one I forget which movie this one is, but we're gonna call Zoe Captain America. Okay, and when the shit hits the fan, he go, okay, I need you over here, I need you over there, I need you over there, and then Captain America look at Hulk and go, and you Hulk, smash. That's right. You just tell Hulk, that's me.
That's
all.
Hulk
Hulk just smash, just smash. I'm gonna turn green, rip out my clothes, and say some ignorant shit.
But I'm starting to see, like, I remember years ago, Cool Mo D and I were doing relationship roundtables. You were at one of those before, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And there was a sister there, beautiful sister, I think Ghanaian, African, something,
Jesus.
just beautiful. And at that time, she was around 29. Never had sex.
Oh, shit.
Now, I was in contact with her maybe 3 to 5 years after that. Still, never had sex.
You can boil her panties and make tea.
Waiting on God, waiting on, I'm waiting on God to bring him to me, right? Bring him to me. I'm waiting on God to bring...
What?
To me, it's concepts like that. You know how they say the self-help book industry is probably the most dangerous books you could read because of these wild-ass ideas that are not vetted out? But because they sound intelligent, you think, oh, this makes sense. But beyond, like, underneath these ideas, it could really lead to some problems. Like, Dr. G is a pro. And one of the things that Dr. G says, once you get past a person's defenses, he was like, what makes a great psychiatrist or a great clinician or somebody like that, he said, is someone who can weather the storm when the person in front of them breaks down.
Ooh.
He says, when you get them to the point where they just release all the shit they've been holding on and all the defense mechanisms, and you get behind the mask, that's the fucking crucial, pivotal moment. If you break down then, that client is lost and you're lost. Because now they've broken down and there's nothing to catch them, which is supposed to be your strength when they do that.
Right.
Do you know how many fools are writing books and putting out shit that sounds smart? You understand what I'm saying? There are Christian women out there that'll say, I'm supposed to sit here in this church and wait for dude to show up because some pastor has given them this concept. Now apply that, what I just painted, to my Krishnamurti, the philosophy of Krishnamurti. You know what Krishnamurti said about fragmented thoughts and conflict? He said it is conceptual thinking that keeps people divided. Now, apply that to this. This sister sitting in the church thinking the concept of Mr. Right is going to show up. This is why you not available. Because you sitting in there waiting on him to come scoop you up as if you ain't got no work to do yourself. As if the work is waiting. This is some bullshit. And guess who looks the most attractive to you because Mr. Right ain't here?
Mr. Right now.
The pastor.
I hear that 5-6 times a week. I meet women coming by art for me or something, and they say, "Oh, I'm cool. My God is Jesus. I'm waiting on Jesus to bring me my man."
Or
they've been single for
or I'm
5
in
years.
relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the craziest.
Yeah,
But see,
like-
Jesus is the perfect person for you to be in relationship with, because he never gonna ask for no pussy. You can he gonna listen. He's available 24 hours a day to listen to that mindless droning shit that you go on with forever and ever, and he's never really gonna hold you accountable.
Do you think the Bible was put together? I'm going to Bobby on this one. Do you think, Bobby and Chan, do you think the Bible was put together to contain the massive power of feminine sexuality? Bobby?
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
I know. That's why I threw it at your ass. Come on, Bobby. You done seen 4,000 generations. Speak on it, pimp.
I know, right?
That's the wise man at the table.
You look close. That's Uncle Bobby at the Last Supper. He
Change his name to
Rolls. Anybody Rolls?
Balthazar. Speak on it.
I mean, it comes back to just some fundamentals, man. You know, you keep telling somebody a lie long enough, it'll sound like the truth, and it'll become the truth. And the word is under attack right now, as we've known it to be throughout my time on this planet, because of what the man said right before, out of your wonderful documentary so far. What
Got
I've
to
seen,
be
I'm
fire.
looking forward to seeing.
Got to see it.
But when you juxtapose those two brothers, one speaking from the religious perspective and this other brother saying, "Hey, I done looked at this closely enough to know that I can't find it." Now, you done built your whole campaign around these scriptures, but it doesn't address my humanity. And the way that he said that, and then with what we're dealing with right now with the question of homosexuality being right or wrong, religiously endorsed or not, that brother raised it to the point where they're going to write the next version of the Bible in pencil, because it's going to be changing constantly based on whose perspective you buy into.
Chan?
We have evolved as human beings. Technology has evolved. But why hasn't theology evolved?
Oh, no.
Why,
No.
Is that rhetorical?
No, this is powerful.
Why is there a back cover on the Bible? God is still present. Angels are still doing their jobs. Prophets are still prophesying. People are still being healed. Wars are still being
waged.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Who put the cover on the back Bible and said,
"This is the end"? This is the end.
This is the badass kid who learned something.
In the back.
Go ahead.
Mr. Carter.
Okay. Here is the biggest misconception. This unravels it all. That God is somehow closer to one man than any other. That's how you put a cover on the back of the Bible. I'm going to hijack your inherent good. I'm not going to bust you in the head, not just because you're a man, and that might not be the end of it, but because my good tells me that I shouldn't. I'm going to hijack that from you and run it through this book and it's going to cost you 10%. I saved 10% on my soul insurance by switching to Don't Go. There is you should never have told me God was everywhere, because I'll pray from here. Once I do that, once I tell you, once you understand, once you truly get down on this knowledge that God is no closer to Bishop than he is to you,
Yes, sir.
then why the fuck I gotta come here?
How about it?
That's why.
How about
it? I got to keep this book mysterious. I got to keep, everything after it. I can't answer any real questions, but you know what? Until that was the, woo!
And I'm going to say this.
Go
ahead. Say it.
I can't answer I don't have any real answers out of this book. And that's okay, because before the information age, y'all niggas didn't have any real questions.
Ooh, wee.
How old is the earth is a real question.
That's a real question.
How come the dinosaurs aren't mentioned?
That's
It's
real
question.
Yeah.
How come on the walls of Egyptian caves that predate Christianity by thousands of years?
Let's go for 5 or 10,000. Let's go.
You.
Let's keep going.
Is the Jesus story, the David story,
all
the
of it.
Samson
It's
story
already there.
is already here with black names and black faces.
Yeah.
How come
The Rant Part
Matthew,
2.
Mark, Luke, John, Silas, Timothy, if I go
Silas,
Peter, Timothy, all these names, Paul, if I go to the Middle East now, ain't nobody named Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Silas, Peter, or Timothy, because those are English fucking names.
Hey, but those are translations. We can give them their different names.
We're gonna let them have the different names?
I mean, we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right. Well, that's my point.
See, that was another reason that I couldn't work the church, man. I can't remember all these scriptures and names.
Well, I can.
Yeah. Well, I said it's only one book. Why we got to keep coming back?
We got to
Why
take a
don't we
quick
just
break. Let us take a break. We're going to come back and finish this up. This shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Rant Part 2. Secret Lives of Church Folk.
Sex, lives, and Bishop on tape.
Brad is actually here right now.
I don't have the white disease. Whoa!
Give me, I want to see like some tiny intro. Give me some boom. Give me some boom, bro. This is gonna make us money.
Ask Robert who his favorite celebrity animals are.
His animal lovers.
All right, everybody whip your out. Everybody whip it out. We'll be right back. See, now it's...
Let's do a couple things. Ready?
Action.
Oh, monsters! Monsters!
You.
Oh, that means me.
It's gonna take the unreal mind.
To be honest with you, I like being down there a little more because my head was...
Candy corn monsters, boom!
Hi, I'm Kristen Renton, and I don't know what I'm saying. This one's World Animal Days.
Right, here we go. Oh, I'll just... It's on a real wall.
I mean, unless you fake it. I had a contest on night calls, and they were all peeing everywhere. Everyone's like, can I get another Diet Coke? Yeah.
We want to do more.
I'm Laura Samoza.
I'm Sterling Gardner.
And we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m., TRadioV.com.
T-Radio-V.
That's right, it's T-Radio-V, radio in TV. What is that face?
He wants to see our hands.
That's radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple.
So I want to ask you this. You know, a lot of people attribute recent allegations of sexual abuse to the reason that they've lost faith in the black church. Now, you as a man of faith, and I assume you're at least somewhat familiar with the black church, which is why you chose to dig into it. How do you manage to maintain your faith while talking realistically about what's going on in the church?
Well, you know, this is my thing. I think one of the things that we have a tendency to do is we equate God with church. And I hate to say that, but those are two different entities. And the issue is this. Because we do that, the minute that the man of God or your preacher or someone who's in the church does something to you, you leave. You turn away from the church as a whole. You turn away from God. You turn away from spirituality. You leave that because you're angry at the man and you're blaming God for something that the man did. And for me, it's like I have to always keep something in mind that that's a man. Not that he isn't a godly man, not that, because, like I said, I grew up in the church. I'm still very much a part of the church. I go to the Potter's house here in Dallas. But, he's a man. And yes, we listen to that man. That man guides us, and that man counsels us. However, that man is capable of doing the same thing that I'm capable of doing. And I have to look at it in that way, that man can be just as flawed as I am. That doesn't mean that, I excuse his actions, but what that does mean is that shouldn't shatter my faith. It can't shatter my faith. It might make me move to another church because I'm like, no, I don't want to sit under somebody who's doing this thing, but it can't shatter my faith because my faith is not in a man, it's in God.
God knows they did a good job. Because there's something real sick when a black woman can say to a black man, I don't need you. Only thing I need you for is. And if you don't do that too well, I don't need you at all. Y'all know, don't y'all get deep on me. Y'all know we talk like that. We talk like that. Check out what it goes on to say. It says, by being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal causes her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. Y'all hear this? What are the results? It goes on to say, and this is what you call social engineering, brothers and sisters. Here's what it says. What are the results? You've got the African woman out front and the African man behind and scared.
That I pretty much base our slogan off of. It is an original concept. It comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 in the New Testament. For we walk by faith and not by sight. Unfortunately, the word faith has become very synonymous. It has become very overused in the black community. Again, due to injustices, not just injustice, but the challenges that we've had to face since the emancipation from being enslaved. There is this sentiment that we had to, that because of belief in God, that we've overcome all of these issues. So faith has become such a, I wouldn't even say, not even just overused, it's almost become like a culture. Faith, and that's pretty much religion is. You're putting your faith and your trust in something that is, well, we know the problem with faith. There's no evidence. There are times where we have to live or go by in uncertainty, and you wonder what's going on, but unfortunately, the telling problems in our community state that, or it's very indicative of people who are basically putting blinders on and praying for and using faith as they're walking by it. They're definitely are not applying practical solutions to the problems.
Man, while she was talking, I couldn't help but think about it. If you got to believe in something,
why not believe in me? Answer him, Lord. Answer him.
And who was they preaching to? They were singing to Bill Duke.
That's right. Yeah, hey, that's right. Thank you. That was a good little tidbit.
Put a little nugget in there.
But I asked the question earlier. Chan, was the Bible created? Jeff disagrees. Was the Bible created to kind of mute the power of femininity? Because a woman's sexuality, especially in different cultures, Kama Sutra, we didn't even talk about the goddess Kali, right? Women have power beyond belief. And if you listen to Veronica Khan, she'll tell you that power originates through the yoni. through her vagina. Now, if you do the research on the architecture of the Catholic Church, a lot of that shit has to do with the Pisces vesica, which is the opening, the womb, right? You see their doorways, their arches are built like the vulva, like the cooter. You're walking into the womb. Maybe the Bible was put together to shackle the power of the yoni.
Pisces vesica sounds like the Greek etymology for pussy, doesn't it? That sounds like the word Pisces.
All of our ancient cultures were built on a matriarchal system.
Yeah.
That's why even when you look at the Moors and you look at everybody who can become royalty, kings and queens over in Europe, it all goes through the feminine line.
The matrilineal lines.
Yes. It's because, and they knew that when they came to Kemet.
Who's your
They
mama?
saw that we were worshiping the goddess energy, the feminine, and they were like, "Oh hell no, we got to switch this up."
Chan?
You know what? I have to. I think we should start with Jeff, because Jeff has a good point in terms of.
Okay.
You might not get
I'm
the
not used
ball
to that.
back.
I'm not used to that. Okay. All right. You hand me the ball.
He getting ready to go
I'm
COVID.
finna Forrest Gump. I'm Forrest Gump. I'm gonna run out the goddamn stadium. Fuck the touchdown. I'm out in the parking lot past the hot dog stand.
So, hey, so set him up.
Okay. What we were discussing is my view is that the Bible was not put together to control women's sexuality. The Bible was put together for control, and the women's sexuality becomes a byproduct of that control. It's not about controlling your sexual energy. If I get you subject under the man, your sexuality is controlled by default. The problem is that that pressure cooker got a hole in it because, as we all know, pussy run the world. Okay, that's the only reason men are not funky and naked eating off the ground is women. I know that's exactly why I wash my ass, why I put cologne on, why I like my clothes to match, why I like my car to look and smell good. All this shit I done in the past 50 years I've been here has been about women. Yeah. So I don't think it was that was the mindset. We're gonna control these women. Blah 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 blah. I don't. I think it was more about controlling the masses. And what happened is that men are creatures of logic. That's why I don't respect. If you go to a church and you a deacon or a pastor, I can at least respect your hustle.
Right.
If you ain't one of those and you just a man in here listening to this bullshit, I don't have no respect for you. What the fuck are you doing?
You know, I had a call from two major pastors when I started doing the documentary.
Did they say don't do it?
Who were calling me and say, please,
Let me
brother.
talk to you, dear brother.
Yeah. Brother, we love your work.
Dear brother.
Yeah, they
Dear
start
brother.
with that shit.
We love your work, and we know you're a man of God, and da-da-da-da. But you may want to reconsider doing this documentary because you're going to hurt a few pastors around the country.
And?
They're just men.
They were circling the wagon.
So I stood back and I listened to my elders speak, and I said, well, let me just say one thing, is that if they're just men, why the hell did they take the job?
Damn! Yo, that's like the police, nigga. If you scared, why the fuck you doing the job?
If you have to be you have to be an extraordinary human being, gifted, blessed, protected on the planet if you're going to speak for
you.
Father God, Mother God.
Yes.
Or change the qualifications for the position.
Thank you. Thank you.
As they should with the other two P's.
Right.
Exactly.
How the penguin gonna put on Batman's outfit? You don't fit it. You ain't for you.
But again, this goes back to my point. I think the whole shit is imbalanced anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, completely.
So the messenger for most black folks is just as important, if not more important, than the message.
Yes. Yes.
So there has to be balance. This is why when people come to me and say, people introduce me, oh, he's a relationships expert. No. Don't you call me no expert. I can't be no expert of your shit. Right? I always put it out there. The only way to really learn in relationships is to have gone through some shit.
To fail.
To have failed. And the principle is the same for Michael Jordan. It's the same for Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. These guys have failed
and are willing to share
and take the failure and turn it into something as a blueprint to succeed. Right?
That's right.
That's foundational for anything you do. So the same applies to being a pastor. If you got a holier than thou, all the way on the good side of the game, right, type pastor, you bound to get set up for disappointment because everybody is flawed. And what you find is most of these pastors get so enamored with the position that now they become a sentinel for the position. They have to guard the position. They have to protect it from all attacks and keep all of the dirt that they naturally have hidden.
Why you think preachers' kids so bad? Because they get to see, they looking at the
I don't
wizard's
respect
ass.
this nigga. This nigga,
y'all in Oz. Y'all in Oz looking at the wizard. His kids are seeing the wizard's ass. Now we seeing the fat dude doing like this.
Yes.
You know, religion and sexuality are oxymoronic to me almost, because the older I get, the more I rely on my spirit than I do somebody else's dictate about how I'm supposed to feel about my sexuality. I don't want anybody to ever feel they have a right or the need to tell me how I'm supposed to respond to sexual stimulation. Because if I see a woman that I like and I'm attracted to her, I don't want to feel guilty about that based on some scripture. All right, but I'm not going out trying to take somebody's wife, but anything like that. But we got this thing so confused now that if you're a man, in the sense that I understand a man to be, then why should I have to have a man look at me like, okay, I like you, and then I got to tell him why that ain't happening? All right, that's really a problem. But I don't feel that at the same time that I'm supposed to put him in a box that he don't belong in. But we done got this thing so, just crossed up to the point where you can't even define your own sexuality as a man who likes a woman.
Chance.
Exactly.
First a question and then a comment. How many times does God really speak to man in the Bible?
Uh-oh.
Wow.
All right.
Whoa, wait a minute. Let that sink in for a minute.
Uh-oh.
Say that again, one more time.
How many times does God actually speak to man in the Bible where it is not I got something to tell you because somebody told me that God said this?
Right.
So that's the first thing. The other thing is this.
Case closed.
Yeah, so the other thing is this. What if we took the conversation and what we can place and see in our hand where the conversation took place between God and Moses and say the 10 Commandments? Why could we just live by that alone? Isn't that enough to live by? Instead of, if we just knock out all the rest of the bullshit that's in the Bible that came through somebody else's dream and all that sort of thing, and God didn't really directly talk to them, but God talked to Moses and gave Moses, said, this is what.
You know why I like him?
Because he's smart.
Because he's a man of God and he cuss. You jumped the peg with me. You jumped the peg. I can't stand people who swear words burn their ears. That is the abs. I say this all the time. Oh shit, that sounds like Broadway. That's another reason I don't go to church, because whenever God speaks, look very closely. Whenever God speaks to a man in the Bible, he's alone. Jonah in the belly.
Exactly.
Moses, he gets you away from everybody when I'm going to holler at you. David, everybody that God spoke to. Daniel, every instance. Abraham, Adam, no, he cussed Adam out in front of Eve, but that's because Eve pimped him with that fucking apple. But other than that, God, everywhere in the Bible, God talking to you by your goddamn self. Why the hell? What is this other shit with the 10%?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Listen. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we will conclude with Negro sermons. With your Negro pastor, Jeff Brown, is on 20 today. We'll be back in 2.2.
Let me preach it.
Hey geeks, wake up! We got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to T-Radio V Monday, October 6th. And it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
Hi, I'm Bob Nalbandian, and be sure to watch my show Inside Metal, which airs live every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on T-Radio V. I'm going to be bringing in the greatest heavy metal artists live right here in the studio. Once again, every week at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Tuesday, right here at TRadioV.com, radio in TV.
We're back. It's Politically Naughty with Mary Carey on TRadioV.com. I don't feel like it'll be as big of a deal these days if I, you know.
You'd be surprised. The most powerful weapon in the world is
This is a no-holds-barred conversation.
So anyway, everybody started drinking my bathwater. I loved it.
That is amazing.
Kitten, you need a movie about your life. If
Maybe-
Mary Carey was governor, we wouldn't be having these problems in America.
Exactly,
Just saying.
exactly. I know.
Get Politically Naughty with Mary Carey. Mondays at 4 p.m. on T-Radio V.
Andy D on T-Radio V. Bing, bang, bing, boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T-Radio V. Bobbity, bibbity, bobbity, boo. Andy D on T-Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T-Radio V.
Wow!
But
Paul-
we'll do it. We'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yeah, no-
The Pope has come under a bit of criticism for waiting so long, almost 16 months since his election, for having a meeting with sexual abuse victims. We have to remember that his predecessor, Pope Benedict, now former Pope Benedict, had several meetings with abuse victims on various trips when he was outside of Italy.
Details about the meeting probably won't be made public, says Reuters Vatican correspondent Philip Palella.
There were 6 people who attended his morning mass, 2 from Britain, 2 from Ireland, and 2 from Germany. Afterwards, they had private meetings with him. We probably won't find out what was said because it is such a private matter.
In St. Peter's Square, the response was mostly positive.
I think this Pope, the new Pope, really has taken care to look into the problem and to find out why it happened. And I think now there must be, he's reacting now, talking to the people. I think that's very important at this stage. And then I suppose that he finds measures to stop this.
The victims need respect. We must see how the church moves forward. Up until now, nothing has been done, and there hasn't been respect.
I'm dumbfounded by it because that's something that, I don't think that he was always talking against it.
It, according to sources, is infidelity. A spokesperson says the deacon board voted to dismiss Dr. Skop in the wake of his sin that they say caused him to forfeit his right to lead the church.
We've turned everything that we know over to the sheriff. We don't believe that it's criminal.
The 54-year-old pastor has 2 grown children and has written books offering advice on dating. He's been married more than 3 decades to his wife, Cindy. When confronted by church leaders, he reportedly admitted his sin. Many members are now filled with uncertainty. Can the church survive this?
I hope so.
In 2015, Pope Francis instituted a tribunal for child abuse cover-up accusations within the Catholic Church. After decades of alleged abuse, some are left wondering why it took the Vatican so long to organize this kind of response. So how widespread is the Catholic Church's sex abuse scandal? The first time we really heard about these abuses was back in the 1980s. More recently, the Vatican revealed that since 2004, it has defrocked more than 800 priests accused of rape or molestation. The Church has also sanctioned some 2,500 with lesser penalties. Since the 1950s, there have been roughly 17,000 reported victims of church sex abuse in the U.S. alone, and these are just the ones that have been reported. An estimated 1.5 to 5% of the clergy is thought to have been involved in cases from countries all around the world. The media coverage of the scandal has been especially large in the United States and Europe, but Latin America, Canada, and Australia have also experienced massive scandals. In the U.S., since 1950, almost 7,000 priests were accused of abuse, and it's reported that the Catholic Church has spent over $2.5 billion nationally on lawsuits.
Gotta love the Catholic Church.
Listen,
that's the car wash of
you, and you'll hear some Christians saying, "Oh, well, they're Catholic; they're not Christian."
No.
First off,
Christianity is all same
that is
shit.
Christianity.
Yes.
That is the father and mother of all you other hybrid bastards.
Yes.
All you other versions of Christianity. Because listen, Bishop T.D. Jakes, who made you a bishop if the Catholic Church didn't?
Exactly.
Where'd you even get that concept?
Who gave you the authority to call yourself a bishop? That's a Catholic term.
Get down, yeah.
Well, y'all niggas just roll out of bed bishops?
Yeah. Oh, fuck that. I'm a bishop today.
So what happened to hell, man?
First off, hell was created by Dante, the brother who wrote Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
They didn't have a concept of hell before that. When Dante wrote Dante's Inferno, the Catholic Church said, this is such a great depiction of hell.
Yeah.
We're going to include this into Christianity.
Yes.
And that became the standard telling of what hell is.
Hell,
limbo, all that purgatory, all that was brought into the Catholic Church because Dante just did a hell of a job describing hell.
Hell is to the Bible what the mixer is to DJs.
What?
We was trying to get on with 2 turntables and we didn't really have nothing until we got this fucking thing right here.
I owe the Catholic Church all of my consciousness.
Yeah, you actually do.
Because I almost got molested when I was a child.
Almost. What happened, Tony? This is about to explain a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you take the candy, Tony?
Nah. When I was little, my mom used to drop me off at this father's church.
Oh God.
Here's a little Negro taffy for you.
He used to take me upstairs. And I'd be watching cartoons and stuff, and he'd be in there doing his thing. He'd bring other little boys over. So one day he had us all over, and he took all the boys in the room one at a time. And one of the boys came back out and said, "Oh, he just told me to lay down on the bed with my pants down."
Wow.
He didn't take off his pants. He just laid on top of me. I was like, what? So when it was my turn, I told him I had to use the bathroom. I went in the bathroom. I locked myself in the bathroom. I went and told my mom. My mom wouldn't believe me.
Of course.
My mom wouldn't believe me for nothing. And I was like, Mom, I'm not lying. So years later, it came out. He finally got busted for the scandal. And
what'd your mama say?
And my mom was like, "Oh, well, I should have believed you back in the day." But from that day forward, the first thing I did when I got home, I started using my critical thinking. I started looking up the Catholic Church and looking up Catholic priests and boys. And I found all this stuff on these boys.
Again.
On the stuff. And that made me start questioning everything about Christianity. And that took me into my whole Afrocentric learning about Kemet and my aunt and all of that.
Do you know why the Catholic Church has a vow of chastity and of poverty? It is because back in the day, they would have to pay priests more if they had a wife and a family. That's it.
Really?
That's it. So now you are trying to fit yourself into this pressure cooker that God, the God in that book, ain't said neither one of them. Be fruitful and multiply applies to more than just your loins. It applies to everything that you touch. So how am I supposed to be in accordance with God if I have said I ain't gonna make no kids and I'm gonna be broke? That's all God's chosen men were paid. All of them. But no, God didn't have no bro. If you read the Bible closely, David paid, Solomon paid, Joseph paid. All them dudes was paid. So it's twisting against itself right there. So everything that comes out of something twisted is twisted.
So Jeff is very passionate. He's sucked up all the time.
He's actually read the Bible twice, so
right.
You got to defer to him.
Yeah. So look at you. You look at it. You feeling
You
yourself.
are the book. You are the walking book.
No.
We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna do the final thoughts. We're gonna get you guys out of here on time today. We'll be back. Yeah. Tough topic. But you know we have to have this conversation because I'm going to keep saying this. Number one, black community is in trouble because we got bad relationships. Black men and women, state of acrimony in terms of intimate relationships. We got to fix that. Not saying there aren't any great relationships out there. Not saying we don't have beautiful examples of black love. But for the most part, we got to heal our community through relating, through communication, active listening, understanding each other better. And then I believe the unity that we so sorely want and need will be easier to access. Part of breaking down the conditioning, we've got to attack shit that's been poisonous for a long time. You know how you attack? Critical thinking. Objective listening, right? Take some of the points in Christianity, not just Christianity, because people will be, oh, you banging on the church. Religion, just religion in general. Take some points. No one can argue the fact that most religions levy a great sense of guilt and shame on the shoulders of those who follow. You know how you say, wait till the dollar crash, right? As a sign of saying, when you take money off the table, now women can really see men for what manhood really is, right? You put money on the table in the current economic system that we're dealing with right now, it's the great equalizer, right? Watch this. The traditional value that a man has been given comes from the Bible. You ain't shit unless you work for it, right? You're not shit unless you're a provider. You're not shit unless you're a protector, right? All that's from the Bible. All of that is from the Bible. You look up that word worship. You know what it means? They say, oh, it means worthy. But it also shares the same root with the word work. If a man is not working, he is not worthy. Do you see that? How is a man's work acknowledged by those who control him? The time he puts in, the effort he puts in, right? Understand this. The government is God, and our worship is the work that they pay us for. The only currency you got that could never be fucking recouped is your time. Yeah. Right? You're a wage slave for the most part. And they're paying you bio-survival tickets with time you can never get back. Royalty does not worship. Royalty is to be worshipped by the commoner through his work. That's how you label the good man. The best man you can get is a servant because he works. They don't even understand how that's been set up that way. And we walk around going, I'm a good man because I provide. No, you're a good man because you bend over, you work, you toil. Remember in the Bible, that was Adam's punishment, to toil, to work, worship the divine who spared your life. About the sweat of your brow, goddammit. I'm just saying, you want to change your fucking life? You got to understand the game you're playing. And the only way to break free from the game is to rewrite the rules, but you ain't even got access to the CPU. You're a front-end user. Oh, shit. Hey, it's time to go. I could go on and on and on, but it's time to go. Listen, I want to make sure everybody... Bobby, where do they find you?
At Glanton Smith on Twitter. My website, www.realmendon'tplay.com.
Chan?
D. Chansonberry, Facebook, and also Chicago.
And that book, the trailer, the movie?
Yes, the Church House, Sexuality of the Black Church,
Yeah.
December 4th in Chicago, Museum.
Yes.
DeSabo.
There we go.
Museum at 7 o'clock.
Tony, be conscious. You can find me on Instagram, Tony_B_conscious, or www.consclusent.com.
Next week, I will be at the Starting Gate, December 10th, performing live. Don't miss it, down in Orange County, Los Alamitos. Right now, where I am is keeping my promise to, for Christmas, only buy from black business. Here is $15 for this hat.
Wow.
If you got friends, I buy his shit. I borrow their shit. That's how you support.
That's right.
That's
Support
real.
black business. I give you $5.
All right, listen. Hey, seriously, guys, I need your help. I need you guys to help me sell out of these books. Go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com. Purchase your copy. We would appreciate it, the support. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play. It's everywhere.
It's on my heart. If you Zoe's friend, don't ask for no free fucking book. Buy it.
Please continue to support our movement. IamZoeWilliams.com. Listen, we'll be back next week with another heater. Zoe what? We out. Deuces.
Woo!
Download this app.
Night.
Watching T Radio V. Radio MTV.